Today I am going to talk about building a cycling nation, bicycling nation. This is already there in the world, especially in the European countries. The Dutch, there's Netherlands, German, Denmark, Sweden, they all are turned towards the bicycling nation. I remember when Hitler came into power, he wanted a car to each and every family. That was the concept. That improved the car usage, and all these city planners, governments, all they disregard about bicycling. Then they build up in Germany Autobahn. Now what is the concept in German? Now German is turning towards bicycling. They want to increase the bicycling for day-to-day activities, for the not only for recreational activities. Germany, Netherlands, when they after the World War II, they destroyed, the Germany destroyed their most of their infrastructure. And then what the Netherlands wants, the people from America and various countries, the American planner came to Netherlands and advised on roads one over other, flyways and various designs. But fortunately, they saw the disadvantage of it. Still, car usage was very, very much high in Netherlands. The crowded traffic jams. So they are in Amsterdam, but later, now, after the 1970, the turning of the country into bicycling nation, now the most of their rights, I think about 50% of their rights to the city for their groceries and various things, they do by bicycle. 70 years olds, 80 years olds, all use bicycles. Politicians, they all use, prime ministers, they all use bicycles. Because most of the people, they ride bicycles for about 2.5-3 kilometers or maximum 5-6 kilometers. That they can do by cycling. That they understood. That's what they are doing now. About 50% are doing cycling. When I asked this from my friend in German, said the friend said there are two cycles. One is e-bike and other one is a pedal bicycle. E-bikes has pedals also, but it's e-bike and this thing. And I asked why they are not having a car. Wow, what are the expenses? See the expenses of the car. That's what they answered. I was thinking later, are there expenses in cars? Expenses for the cars? Not only the physical expenses, monetary expenses, the environment. We have to think of the environment, pollution, people's health. Everything is going to waste, destroy by car usage. When we get the superficial car, we don't think the car usage per day. We go by how many gasoline it need, petrol, diesel, or something like that. We straight away think of that, but we have to think, since it is this consists of iron and various things, it has wear and tear and depreciation. First 3 years, the depreciation rate is about 25 to 30% per year, first 3 years. After that, it's going to depreciate about 15% per year. It won't last. So that depreciation is the value, the price that we gave at the beginning of the car. So that depreciation we should add, because when we are going to buy, we have to find that money, depreciated money. The depreciation, 50, that's a huge amount. And insurance, car insurance, we have to pay, and we have to replace tires. Winter tire, in the countries with winter tires, and wear and tear and everything. The replacement should be done. So all those things calculate. So I just calculate the Canadian vehicle if I buy to $10,000, and that is per day cost around $20 to $25 per day. But the gas amount is maybe about $4, $5, that much. But the amount is that much. We don't think it's a huge amount. Insurance, depreciation, wear and tear, repairs, tire replacement. It's a huge amount. It's a huge amount. And when we get the cars, that's why people thought of it. Now city planners, governments thought of it, and they changed to bicycles. The bicycle use is going to improve the person's health. If we can ride bicycles at least half an hour per day or 20 minutes per day, that's going to improve our good cholesterol, HDL cholesterol, that is high density lipoproteins. That's going to take out the bad cholesterol deposits, which is damaging the blood vessels, to get us into strokes, get us into heart attacks, get us into peripheral vascular diseases and various things. Those are removed by high density lipoproteins. The high density lipoprotein content in the blood is going to improve with cycling. So our health is going to get improved. And more than that, our work stress, our stresses during life, we are stressful because of our unnecessary expenses, mainly money, and various social problems. And those stresses, uncertainties, because of uncertainties we feel stress. We have a hormone called cortisol. That's going to damage everything. That's going to increase cholesterol. That's going to damage blood vessels. That's going to give us diabetes. That's going to give us high blood pressure. Everything. Long-term diseases. That's also going to burn by this cycling. Cycling is, other one is the old people, more than 50 people, more than 60 people, they naturally, their lung capacities are going to reduce. Because of the lung capacities reduce, they have they are the ability to get good oxygen level into tissues, and tissue extraction of oxygen is going to reduce. But with bicycling, that lowering of reducing of lung capacity is low, and also with the start of the exercises with cycling, that oxygen extraction by tissues, that the tissues, body tissues need oxygen for them to burn and give us energy, for us to get the brain power, for us to muscles, everything need energy. That tissue extraction of triple. So our life is not going to have disabled life. Our improved life is there now. People live long, but if we live long with diseases, chronic diseases, lung diseases, heart diseases, diabetes, blood pressure, kidney damages, even cancers, what a life there. So disability, affected lifespan is worthless. So without getting the disability non-affected disability, no disabilities, active life in our adult life is a disadvantage for us. Then we know those people, those who have disabilities, diabetes, blood pressure, heart problems, kidney problems, stresses, everything. What a distress they have. They live with the distress. So, but we can live without a distress when we don't have diseases. That need exercise, regular exercise, like bicycling. The recreation bicycling is not going to work. It is not compulsory. Compulsoriness is that when children are going to school, when people are going to work, or people are going to get errands. So for those things, people need bicycling. That's going to improve their life. And in addition, we know that each gas, I have this carbon dioxide emission, not only carbon dioxide, there are particles, small particles, 2.5 these particles, 2.5 millimeter particles are going to emit. They have lead, they have various nitrates, they have various tar, every pollutants are there. Those pollutants are very harmful to our body. They are very much low. Those who in the countries where the bicycling is there, like Denmark, like Netherlands, and also in Germany, Finland, Sweden, we have 150 gram carbon dioxide emission with bicycling for emission reduction with bicycling for kilometer. If we go by a car, for kilometer, there is carbon dioxide emission of 150 grams. How can we remove that 150 grams of carbon dioxide? That is going us global warming, that is giving us a lot of warming in that country. They warm up the country. So how can we remove? The even green leaves, with their photosynthesis, only way to remove carbon dioxide. The photosynthesis also, I just calculated, the square meter of green leaves, it take about 160 days of photosynthesis. We will consider the sun is there for about, good sun is there about for the 8 hours. And 140 days is take 160 days it takes. So that's very difficult for trees. Even the trees are also not, they are in modern roadsides because of the autobahns. What of this thing, not bicycle. Really, when we have bicycles, we like to see trees, we like to see architecture, we like to see riverfronts, waterfronts, but not for the cars. We like to see those. So that we have to think the bicycle is the way that we have to think of. Most of the countries in our Sri Lanka, we don't encourage. Now I was using bicycles. I was using bicycles to go to my college, the university. I was riding daily for long distances, maybe 7 kilometers, which may be more than that, the kilometers, every day for my university. And then I was sitting, I got get under fan, stay under fan, like that. Stay. I was very happy because no much of stresses also. Studying is a stressful situation. When cycling, that's also going to reduce. So I use. But now there is no safety in Sri Lanka, especially roads are not safe. There are research have been done. People don't ride bicycle because they feel they are not safe. If we can reduce their fear in 10%, say that's in America they have done about 45 people, males, told they are in fear of cycling. Then the females also around that 35% of females told they are in fear of cycling because of they are not cycling because of the fear of accidents. That much. If we can reduce in 10% of that, say that 45% of males told that they are in fear of accidents by cycling. So that if we can reduce 10%, that is if we can get it into 4.5% reduction, about 40 point something, 40.5%. If we can reduce, we can increase the cycling by 17%, almost double. 10% reduction in fear, increase the cycling into 17%. So we know the biggest problem is safety. People know now. People know the pollution, they know about global warming, the problem, they know about the cost, they know about happiness with the cycling, they know everything. And the expenses reduction, everything they know, exercises, requirement of the exercises, reducing of cholesterol, reducing of blood pressure, improved sleep, improved active life, all people know, but the problem is safety. That is the safety is not with the cyclist. Increase in the safety is with the government. Because government should have improve the discipline of people. People are not disciplined just. People wear helmets. It's not to protect their head. It's to protect, they get the fine from the police because it's illegal. It's like that. So the government has the biggest responsibility to rules and regulation and discipline the people, discipline the drivers. Government has a responsibility. So it is the government responsibility to create safety of the people, safety of the cyclists, safety of the pedestrians, safety of the pedestrians or cyclists, those who are crossing roads. It is the government responsibility. It's a responsibility of the lawmakers. That's the government. It is the responsibility of the protectors of the law and order, that's the police. And also the government officers, those who are just take their salary, go home and eat and sleep. They don't do much of works. They just stay on their chairs till the 8 hours, then they go home. They don't advise politicians. They have no any projects, programs. They are not thinking. Even the legal departments, they don't think of improving these adjusting or the rules also. Still in the nuisance ordinance, it is 5 cents is the fine for if they become a nuisance for the other person. 5 cents. That they could not improve. Now the 5 cents before 1948 is the ordinance. Now how much it? 5 cents? Thousands, 5,000, 25,000. Still that 5 cents is there. That is the level of lethargy in the legal departments, attorney general departments, police, everything, politicians. That's the biggest responsibility. So, but we cannot hand over our country, our society, our people to these lethargic politicians, these corrupted politicians, those who believe on deception of people is the way to get votes, the way to get these things. And the police is thinking that the bribe is the way to implement the law and order. If the people think that they can any way they get salary without doing any project, any work, we cannot give our country to those people. But we should voice for bicycle. In Netherlands, it's happened. Until the Netherlands, the transport minister's son injured or died of a bicycle accident. Then he thought, okay. Then only he thought, he will also support. Before that, people had a campaign, protect our child, bring my child home safely campaign. And there were massive protests that the particular same minister was against and tried to sabotage those protests. When his son is affected, he also with the people. So this is what is happening. Then they turn into a country, cycling country. Now German, France, I said to the countries, now they turn towards that. Still, USA, UK, they haven't turned into that one. One reason is we know this. When we are in the Canada is the best country to study about people. When we are with British, when we are with French, when we are with Germans, when we are in Netherlands, we see the mentalities of them. Too much grandiosity. Too much grandiosity is with the British people, American people. They have too much grandiosity. The head is a little bit swollen. So they cannot ride bicycles. They want Benz, they want BMW, they want Prada, they want the Audi or something like that. So that's the difference. When we have that type of people in UK, and then we can see that they don't want to ride bicycles. They think it is inferior. Though that is also there. So I told the social problems I am telling. These are social. So to overcome them, so these Dutch people, they haven't done a different. They narrowed the road for existing road, narrowed for cars, two lines only, and rest of the lines from the sides, they took it for physically separated physically separated pedestrians. So there's a study done in Queensland, Australia, and even the Melbourne area, Victoria, they study done, and they said minimum of 3 meters, minimum of 2 meters should be there to share the bicycling and pedestrians. But then with that they found there is some have to slow down or keep the bicycle braked to when somebody by passing meeting the other. So then they increase it to 3 meters. That's also not enough. Then they increase to 4 meters. Like that they improved then by that way people were encouraged to not to slow down or not to brake frequently. And they said that if somebody is maximum brake for other vehicles or pedestrians 12 times per hour, that is every 5 minutes, then the cycling is also going to collapse. Cycling people, they discourage what is this and the frequent stopping. So that they increase it to 4 meters. And the 1.5 meters they use for pedestrians separately. They don't want to, they are not going to share the bicycle lanes. And bicycle lanes need not to share this length is 2.5 meter width. 1.5 meter width for this thing, like that. So those calculations have been done. Developed countries have done this. So what we have to do is policy makers should be advised by engineers, doctors, or anybody, PHIs, police, or anybody advice, and there should be bodies, steering committees to get the concept of the cycling into our country. We have a poor country, but the Netherlands, Germany, they are richest countries in the world. Denmark, Finland, the happiest people are there in the world. How they are living? They are turning to bicycle. Why we are not going to turn to bicycle? If we increase widen the roads, we are going to get more and more vehicles, more and more pollutions, more and more health hazards. When we don't get cycling, pedestrians also we can't. One day when I was in Battaramulla, the one survey gave me a ride. I was in his car. He told, see, our this Pradesh Sabha, they are going to increase widen the road. Now see the width of the road. I said, they have widened road? No. They apply tar on that grass area and these other areas. So wall to wall, they are tar. No canal even. So that is how they widen the road. I said. A little bit later, I found a person, the old person. He's the oldest person, I think. Oldest postmaster in Subutipura Battaramulla. And he was going slowly using his cane. I asked how safe is for him to go now because of this widening of roads. The cars are going to get towards the wall and hit that person. He said, oh my God. Now only I understood the danger of this widening. I said, yes, widening is not a solution. Pedestrians should be protected. Disabled people should be protected. Cyclists should be protected. Children should be protected. That's how we should have physically separated lanes according to international standards. That's what we have to do. By that way we can improve. I will try to get some pictures in the countries, 1970s, nowadays, and what is the pollution level. Our 2.5 these particle levels is very high in Sri Lanka. Hundreds, 80s, they said moderate. But here it is more less than 20 in Canada. Denmark is even more, even less. Asthma, heart attacks, all those things are more in Sri Lanka. These people are very healthy. Diabetes rate is low, hypertension rate is low. Why? They're active. So activity in 1 hour, or activity in a year, or activity in a day is going to give the same amount of active life into our added life. Our added life is going to have not the disabled, active life in our, if we are active beforehand. In day, if we are active 1 day before. Year, if we are active 1 year before. So that much of healthiness. And how much of money we save. How much of a good oxygen we get. How much of a pure oxygen we get. How much of less 2.5 PM, 2.5 particles we reduce. How much of lead we don't get. How much of a kidney protects. Heart, everything, brain. Thank you very much for watching this video.